The BabySitters Club Portrait Collection, Abby's book. It publishes in 1987. Chapter 1. The clock radio woke me at 8 o'clock a.m. You've heard another fab hour of solid rock and roll, and DJ announced in a booming voice. Now for a few words for our sponsors. Belair's department store is the one-stop shopping center for the whole family. Why is it that my clock radio always wakes me with commercials instead of with some of that solid rock and roll? I switched off the radio and lay back, planning the day ahead. It was Saturday. I was coaching softball that morning. Maybe I'd hit the pizza parlor with Christy at lunch. Then I had soccer practice in the afternoon. I remember that my mother and my sister and I were having Chinese without takeout for dinner and renting a couple of films. What was I forgetting? Oh yeah, homework. Well, that could wait until Sunday. My weekend homework probably wouldn't take me more than an hour. Now, what was my weekend homework? I pulled it straight up, wide awake. I had a huge assignment due on Monday. I had to write a book, and I was only planning an hour for homework. I needed a lifetime. Well, maybe not a lifetime, but I definitely needed more than 2 days. I guess you're wondering what the book is about. The book I have to write is about me, Abigail Stevenson. It's an autobiography. Now, I bet you wonder why an 8th grader is writing an autobiography. Frankly, I don't know. And I don't approve of asking kids to write the story of their own life. We should be living our lives, not writing about them. I also don't approve of long assignments. Maybe I thought I should go back to sleep for a little while, like all weekend. My sister Anna knocked on the door and stepped into my room. Abby, Mom made pancakes. If you want some, you should get up. It's Saturday morning, I groaned. What's the rush? I have orchestra practice at 9 and Mom has to work today. Anna answered. Anna is my twin. We're identical twins, but not the type who do everything the same. I am a jock. I love sports, especially soccer, softball, and running. I'm also outgoing and always cracking jokes. Anna is quieter than I am by a lot. She's also a musician, which I am not. Anna can play a load of instruments, including the harmonica and the piano. She's been at the violin, which is her favorite instrument. People used to mix Anna and me up and call us by each other's names, but not anymore. We don't dress alike, ever. We both have curly black hair, but Anna wears her hair short and I wear mine long. I didn't know Mom was going to the city today, I told Anna. She's meeting one of her writers, Anna explained. Come on, the pancakes will be cold. Anna went up downstairs and I got dressed. We live in Stony Brook, Connecticut, but our mother goes to Manhattan every day to work. She's an executive editor at a New York publishing house. You'd think since my mother edits books, I wouldn't mind writing one. Forget it. I walked into the kitchen just as Mom set a plate of blueberry pancakes on my place. I set a pile of papers and photos next to the plate. What's all that? My mother asked. Research, I said. For my autobiography, I thought I'd ask you a few questions during breakfast. My mother checked her watch. I'm out of here in 5 minutes. One of my authors has a book signing today. I'm taking her to lunch. Well, I'm an author too, I said. I pretend to be a news announcer. Miss Abigail Stevenson, known for her best-selling autobiography entitled. I hesitated. I needed a title. It came to my like a spark of genius, entitled Me, Myself, and I. I flashed a new caster's toothy smile at my audience. It's a touching book and a funny book, and best of all, a short book. My audience of two laughed, but not for long. Seriously, Abby, my mother said, how's the autobiography coming along? It's due on Monday, isn't it? I pointed a forkful of pancake at my notes. I have lots of ideas, I said. I just have to put them together at a few picks and whammo. My masterpiece is done. My mother turned to Anna. You turned yours in last week. Only because it was due a weekend earlier than Abby's, Anna explained. Every 8th grader at Stony Brook had to write an autobiography, which was a good enough reason for me to wish that we'd moved from Long Island to Stony Brook when I was in 9th grade instead of 8th. I flipped through my notes and asked Mom questions about my childhood while we ate. I was still asking her questions as she climbed into our minivan to drive to a train station. After my mother drove away, I stood in the driveway thinking about the interesting facts she just told me. Though Anna is only older than me by 8 minutes. I told my first steps a few hours before she took hers. I wondered if that was why I became more athletic than Anna, or did I walk independently first because I already was more athletically inclined? Chrissy Thomas came running up to me from the sidewalk. Hi, she said. You already will be late for practice. Get your glove. We better book it. Book it? I said. I'm booking it all right. I held up the notebook I'd been using for my interview with my mother. Autobiography all weekend. I am seriously bummed. Too bad, said Christy. She gave me a little punch on the arm. Good luck, she went on. Thanks, I yelled. All of my new friends, Christy's the ones who's most like me. We're both outgoing and smart. And we both love sports. Christy coaches a softball team for little kids called Christy's Crushers. I'm her assessment coach. There are ways Christy and I are different too. Christy is more organized than I am, much bossier. However, her bossiness can be a plus. You can see, Christy is the president and brains behind this great club I belong to, the BabySitters Club. Here's another way Christy and I are different. She comes from a huge blended family. In my family, it's just Anna. My mom and me. Our dad died in a car accident when Anna and I were 9. I still miss him and think of him every single day. Chrissy lost her dad too. Only in Christy's case, her father ran away. I'm not the only BSC member who's experienced the death of a parent. Marianne Spears' mother died when Marianne was an infant. After Marianne's mother died, her family was even smaller than mine. There was only her and her dad. That changed when Mr. Spear married her high school sweetheart, and they brought their two families together. Now Marianne has a stepmother, a stepbrother, a terrific stepsister, Dawn Shaver, who is an honorary member of the BSC. Right now, Dawn is living in California with her father and brother, but she comes to visit, so I've met her. I can see why Marianne and the other members of a B club miss Dawn. She's really cool. Marianne is the secretary of a BSC. She keeps track of her babysitting jobs in the club record book and makes sure that we all write in the club notebook. Marianne is a perfect person for that job because she is super neat and super scientist. Our treasurer is Stacy McGill. Stacy loves math and is excellent at it. That girl knows just where to put a decimal point. She also knows how to dress. Stacy and I have something major in common. We both suffer from annoying chronic illness. Stacy's chronic illness is diabetes. She can't eat desserts or sweets. She has to check her blood and give herself insulin injections every day. I have allergies and asthma. I'm allergic to lots of foods such as milk products and shellfish. I'm also allergic to most stuff that floats through the air: dog hair, dust, and pollen. The allergies and asthma are connected. They both affect my ability to breathe, especially the asthma. I used an inhaler when I felt an asthma attack coming on. But I still land in the hospital a couple of times a year. Not being able to breathe is pretty scary. I don't make a big deal about my illness. I refuse to let it get me down or to keep me from doing the things I love, such as sports. I think I'll outgrow some of my allergies. I hope the asthma might just disappear too. The vice president of a BSC is Claudia Kishi. Claudia is really cool. I love her kooky way of dressing. Yesterday, for example, she wore leopard skin tights with a black velvet mini dress to school. Her earrings were made out of fake fur buttons. Claudia is what you call a theme dresser, and yesterday a theme was jungle. We have our club meetings 3 times a week in Claudia's room, which is equipped with a private phone line, perfect for our BSC calls, and an inexhaustible supply of junk food for our personal pleasure. The BC has 2 other regular members, Mallory Pike and Jesse Ramsey. They are both 6th graders and junior officers of BSC. Mal and Jesse are best friends. Mal loves literature and wants to write and illustrate children's books. She can't wait to be an 8th grader and write her autobiography. It will be a snap from Mal. Jessie is a fabulous ballet dancer. She studies ballet as seriously as my sister studies the violin, which is very seriously. The BSC also has 2 associate members, Logan Bruno and Shannon Kilbourne's. Associate members fill in when the BSC are more jobs than regular members can handle. Logan and Shannon don't have to come to the meetings all the time like the rest of us. By the way, Logan is Marianne's boyfriend and Shannon is my sister, are close friends. So that's the BSC and my new group of friends. I still miss my friends from Long Island, where I lived before moving here, except for having to write the story of my life. I love living in Stony Brook, Connecticut. Anna appeared beside me on the driveway. "Penny for your thoughts," she said. "I'll tell you for a $1.50, I said with a grin. "I'm saving my money to buy your book," she quipped. "I guess I have to write it if I'm going to make this bestseller list." "I guess you'll have to write it if you're going to pass English," Anna pointed out. Anna went on orchestra practice and I went to my room. It is time to work on my autobiography. It was a story that no one could write but me and myself and I.